Hello there guys, and welcome back to Jaguar's Rise to the Top. Now you can probably see the smile on my face because we are back for Season 2. Last episode was a little bit boring, I guess you could say, because it was just a free race highlights episode and not really much happened. But today we are in Beijing, and my smile on my face, well, we look like we've got a very good car, even though the rankings don't say so. First up, let's clear something about the drivers. The only driver that isn't at our team at the moment is Scott Speed. Adam Carroll's still there, and Mitch Evans, but in what capacity? Have a guess down in the comments who you think we've signed. We've tried to sign 1 million drivers, but you won't guess who we've signed. Ready? I'm doing myself a bit of a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Zachary Claman de Mello. We've gone with a Lance Stroll type figure as our main driver. Adam Carroll is still our reserve, and Zachary Claman de Mello is our second driver. Now, let me give you a bit of context about Zach, because even until this morning I had to check my iPad because I haven't played this race since Saturday, which I signed this driver in. And I had to check my iPad to see who he actually is because I had no idea who he was. He has tested IndyCars before and he's in the Indy Light Series, so he's not an unknown driver. But yeah, I don't really think there's much to say. Obviously, his stats aren't brilliant. If we compare him to Mitch, which brilliantly he's already prepared, his braking is kind of the same. His cornering is awful. His smoothness is about the same. He's got better overtaking stats, same consistency, better adaptability, which I don't really think matters apart from he'll adjust the team quicker, I guess. His fitness is about the same. He's got better feedback, but his focus isn't quite as good. Yeah, his markability is already better than Mitch Evans'. Mitch Evans is only 35%. Sorry, Mitch Evans is completely zero, whereas Zach's is 35%. Now, I don't know if it'll let me show you this. It might see a few things here that, you know, have happened. But we tried to sign some drivers. Now, no, contracts. Here we go. We did get a contract offer accepted for Tom Blomqvist, who obviously we looked at, if you remember, the end of last season and in the middle of last season. Obviously, his stats are good, but he wanted something like 350k a race. Now, currently we're making £272,000 a race, but if we'd have signed any of those drivers, we wouldn't have. So, these are the drivers we scouted. We did try to get a Ruttier, but he basically rejected the contract offer. We even tried to get Lucas Di Grassi, but then he didn't sign for us either, obviously. Robin French just doesn't want to join. I'm sure he doesn't want to join now. He's still at BMW, as you can see. And as you can see, actually, Lucas Di Grassi's moved round. So, it'll certainly be interesting to see what's happened in this series. Did we try to sign anyone else? Obviously, Scott Speed said goodbye to us. That's a shame, but his stats have peaked now. There's no real point having him. But I've kept Adam Carroll because he's still a good driver, and if for some reason one of the drivers, maybe de Mello, plays up, then we at least have got someone now. Wrong screen. Yeah, right, okay. Before I show you the car, because we've had a livery change, you luckily can't see it at the moment. Here are the standings. So, Formula E in 2017 will have AJ Fort Enterprises, who apparently have the second best car on the grid. Their car drivers are Connor Daly, and I think it is Carlos Munoz. Apologies if it isn't Carlos Munoz, but it's something Munoz. And they look like a very good team. Second place is Audi Apt Sport, and they've obviously changed their driver, and they've gone for a little bit of a nice approach. They've gone from M. Ranguffenton, something like that. We'll sure get his name right over the series, but they didn't opt for Ami Alguersuari as the main driver, so that's quite a surprise. Third team hasn't changed, that's Freintz, De Costa and Di Silvestro. I just want to make sure that we don't see our livery yet, because obviously some of the liveries have changed. Fourth place, we've got Dragon, and we've got our first female driver in the series, which is always nice. We've got Michelle Caruti, I think it's Michelle, if it's not, apologies, but they've decided to drop Loic Duval for this season and put Caruti in that spot. Fifth place are Mahindra, and they haven't changed at all. Sixth place is Nextev, and they haven't changed at all. Now I'm just going to gloss over our team for the moment. I'll show you us in a bit. Renault Dams have stayed the same. Techeetah have employed a new driver by the name of Najuri. Is it Najiri? I'm not sure. But they've dropped Esteban Gutierrez. Who was their test driver last season now? I forgot who it was, but they've dropped their test driver anyway. And then last place is Venturian. Actually, they've dropped Sarazan for an older option But of course, Jacques Villeneuve, probably the most high-profile driver in the championship. And now, it's time. What do I show? Do I show you the livery? I'll show you the livery. Ready? Here's the livery. That's our 2017 livery. Now, I have tried my best to make it like the Jaguar Formula 1 livery of yesteryear. Obviously, it was a blue and black last year, the livery was. If you want to pause the video now and look at it, make sure you do. But I thought that this car looks really nice. Now, enough about the car. The team. Apparently, our car is the 9th best on the grid. However, if you look at the chassis makeup, which we've obviously been able to edit this time, our car looks, it's a lot better than basically, its chassis is better than the team that's supposed to be the best on the grid. So I don't know what to make of that. Obviously, apparently our drivers aren't the best, which I can accept with, you know, maybe DeMello, or I'll just call him Zach actually, with Zach maybe not being the best. But our chassis is the best set of everyone, so I don't know what that means, but yeah. So, a little bit of a story of what we've done over the summer with everything else. So our design centre stayed the same, that's fine. The simulator was obviously built, wasn't it, earlier in the season. We've built a handling development cell, so that's all built now. What else did I do over the summer? I don't think I actually did anything over the summer. Sorry, the winter, apologies. We obviously built that handling development centre and the simulator last year. I don't think we built any new buildings, no. Because basically, we kind of ran out of money. I think we got 6 million in prize money and obviously 10 million to build the new car. And our car cost us, where is it? Our car cost us 15.6 million. So I think we got 400,000 left. Now obviously we had to negotiate with DeMello a contract that involved a signing on fee, and we had a few other costs that I can't quite think of at the moment. But we did get some sponsors in that gave us some money. No, we didn't, that's a lie, because they all came in before the end of the season, didn't they? That's right, we've got Airbnb who came in earlier, but they just came in. Actually, yeah, you can see the spike of that went up because of getting Airbnb, but obviously we've had to do upgrades on the car, and they cost money, so hence why we're in the red. But we are going to make £272,000 a race, so fingers crossed, as a few sponsors are running out, the hence I like of Phillips are running out. Hopefully that gives us a little bit of a financial boost. So, let's get onto the race, because I've talked a lot about whatever's happening. Actually, I forgot. One more thing before we start. The team, where are they? Pre-season testing was this weekend. Ready for pre-season testing? Mitch was 19th. Zach finished 8th. Wow. I think Mitch did have a few issues, but Zach didn't have any. And apparently we're in a strong position for the rest of the season, so we'll have to see what happens there. But Beijing. So, here we go then. 40% chance of rain. Renault Dams have got the best gearbox in the championship, so they're expected to perform well. But yeah, that's about it. So I just really want to get into this race. I've wasted enough of your time already. Let's talk a little bit about the parts. So we have got new parts. We built some new brakes for Mitch Evans. Obviously the brakes are of poor reliability at the moment. We can't really help that. And yeah, you can kind of glance through it. No, you haven't changed any other parts. We've sort of increased the reliability of the engine a little bit, because the engine is a massive part around here, and the gearbox a little bit, even though it might not seem it. Anyway, you can read into all that yourselves. Obviously, I've done a season now, so I don't really need to explain much. So let's go back to the place in Season 1 where brought us A, so much drama, and B, our first ever point as Jaguar racing team over. Now, obviously, we've changed the livery for this season, so we're kind of a little bit different, and we've changed the drivers as well. And more importantly, our tyre wear, our tyre heating, our improvability, everything else of the chassis is much better this season. Meaning that, say, not necessarily in these early rounds, because we might have a few reliability hiccups, but in these early rounds, actually generally for the season, we might have to only make one stop, whereas they might have to make 2 stops. We'll see how it goes. It might be a bit of an exaggeration that the chassis is better, but it does worry me that the rankings rank our car only 9th. That is worrying me a little bit, but I hope, fingers crossed, that we're better than we were last year. It is raining in practice, and as I did last year, I'll let our drivers just go to practice. So obviously Zach's going to be in the car. 17 feedback. That's a massive coup in terms of signing him for his feedback score. But yeah, I think we're just going to get on with practice, and I'll see you at the end of practice for whatever happens. One thing I did forget to say, guys, before we started, I know I'd got one thing, I think there's two things. There's two rule changes, basically, in Formula E this season. The one, quite big one, actually, the races are going to be a lot shorter. Not a lot shorter, but on average, I think the race is going to be 16 laps. Whilst, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they were on average about 20 laps last year. So, allows for a little bit more excitement, I guess, out on the track. And the other rule change is that we have low profile tyres, which I just mentioned actually. So yeah, low profile tyres. It doesn't really mean much for us. It just means that a weekend costs a little bit less. So that's all good. And I think that's about it for rule changes. I'm just doing a few things to the setup that obviously you wouldn't see usually, but I'll just explain a few things. Let me just show you before we get underway for qualifying, etc. our new team. So our new team is Carlos Munoz Racing, obviously, and Connor Daly and Carlos Munoz are expected to be the quickest on the grid. It's the first American on the grid, I believe, and the first Venezuelan driver. Now, nobody's decided to get any of the reserve drivers out this this practice session, so we have got, how many new drivers we've got on the grid? We've obviously got we've got Klaman, we've got Daly, Munoz, Ranganathan. Is it Ranganathan? That's like that comedian on the telly, isn't it? I can't remember what his name. Ramesh Ranganathan, if you live in the UK. Chiruti, we've obviously got, did I count Carlos? Sorry, Zach. I think we've got about 6 new drivers, so a few, not necessarily rookies, but a few new drivers on the grid. So I'm just going to shut up now, get on with practice, and I can tell you all about the session and what happens at the end of that. So we've got quite a weird field at the moment. There were quite changeable conditions in practice. We did have a soft run for a little bit, but as you can see, even the best car apparently on its ranking is in 7th and 9th. We're in 14th and 17th, so I've got absolutely no idea what to expect for qualifying. It's wet for the start of qualifying, and it looks like it's going to be intermediate conditions, so I will put the intermediate perk on. Actually, I'll put the soft perk on because I reckon it will dry up later. But for now, we will put the intermediates on, do a lap on the intermediates, and see where we go from there. So, setups are all good. We've got level 3 on race trim with Zach, which is absolutely fantastic. Oops, we've gone out on softs. Well, that's my fault. So, unless it does dry up, we're going to struggle with Zach, I think. But I've got the ERS and all that sort of stuff. Actually, we don't use ERS in Formula E, so ignore me. We've got all the, heating and all that sort of stuff on. Our tyre heating rating is a lot better this season, so you'll probably be able to notice that really quickly. As you can see, Evans is going a lot quicker than Zach. We'll just call them Mitch and Zach because we could get quite confused in the end. We've got overheated and perfect for, as you can see, Zach's falling back already on the soft tyres, but it is about to dry up in a little bit, so you never know what might happen. I really don't know what to expect from this session. Obviously, we're going to set a purple time with Mitch Evans already. That's just natural. And obviously, Zach's on the soft tyre. I made a bit of a mistake there, but oh well. I think I will bring Zach in actually at the end of this lap because there doesn't really seem much point in letting him finish the lap. But Mitch Evans is going to take advantage of these intermediate settings. Actually, oh dude, he's a long way off. So our car maybe isn't that good. I don't quite know what to make of that, but still. It is going to get damp now. Oh, it's going to start raining a little bit again. Okay. We'll take Zach out on another set of softs now. And we'll just see what does happen, because it might rain. Oh, it's going to rain again, isn't it? Well, we've buggered it up for Zach, really. And it looks like, actually, Mitch might do okay, because it's not necessarily rain anymore, so the intermediates are going to struggle to do anything now. Hopefully the time that we lose with Zach in the rain should be enough to make it a decent lap. So here we go. Oh no, it's just rained as Zach starts his lap again. Oh, I do feel sorry for him, to be fair. We've really buggered up his strategy. He's going green. He's 7/10 off. Is the weather gonna get worse, or is it gonna get any better? If it's not gonna get any better, then unfortunately we're just gonna have to weigh this up. Right, we're gonna have to bring him back in again. I've really messed it up for Zach. All I could do is apologise to him. But the weather has been quite weird in this session, so we're going to send him out on intermediates because at least he can get an actual decent lap in. It's quite wet now, I can accept that, but at least we can get sort of a decent lap in. We will send Mitch out as well on those intermediate tyres, because there's no, why not? He should get time for a lap, he says. Probably not now, but oh well. But as I said earlier, hopefully Zach can get decently up the grid. There are a few drivers in the pits. It is wet now, bearing in mind, but you never know what can happen, I guess, in these qualifying sessions. So Zach has got the tyres to a perfect level. Okay, the brakes a little bit overheated, fair enough, but that's just life, I guess. Can we get Mitch's both perfect? It would be certainly nice. Oh, that the brakes overheated there, just at the end. It is quite wet now at the end of the session, but I think at least Zach can set a decent lap. He's 1.6 seconds off in the first sector, but I reckon, I'm trying to think, he's not going to be 10 seconds off, is he? So we've kind of established that. What's he off in that? So he's 4 seconds off. That's actually okay. So I reckon he's going to go, I'm going to go 14th or 15th. 14th, there we go. I did quite well to guess that. So that's not actually too bad with Zach. And with Mitch, obviously we're not going to improve. But we do go 7th place with Mitch. Oh dear, he's fell back a lot. Zach has. I don't really know what to make of this. But Robin Freitz gets pole. Daly and Munoz are quite a bit behind. And I'm still adjusting to this grid. It's a bit confusing. Obviously, with changeable conditions, like it was in Season 1, it really doesn't help me adjust and kind of see who's in the front and who's at the back. So, it's raining for the race. Okay, that's interesting. It is going to get sort of stay on that intermediate level. And now we've got a few perks with Mitch, but there's not really much point using them. So, 22 laps of session is, so actually, we could just do 2 intermediate stints. That looks all good, to be fair. So if we go on neutral and high for this first lap, that should be all good. I think everyone's on the intermediate tyres. So I think we're just going to go for the first race of the 2017 season. Let's see how we get on. Lights out, away we go. It's a decent start for Mitch Evans. He gains 1 place on the start. No, he doesn't. That's a bit of a glitch. Obviously, Mitch Evans gains 1 place on the start. Is it a few? Yes, it is a few. He's up to 6. But what a start this is. This is probably one of the reasons I signed Di Mello. I think his overtaking's quite good. Actually, I've just jinxed him. I've completely jinxed him. He was up to 13th place, and now he is down to 19th. Not great for him, but our leading driver is Mitch Evans. What do his conditions look like? They're not great. Just a warning, guys. But yeah, so that's the end of the first lap. We are down to 7th place, but it's quite pleasing, actually, that actually we're getting mugged now. But on pace, we actually do not look that bad. Jarek Vern's got past. I don't really know what to make of this. They've all locked up for some reason, but luckily Mitch didn't. And the brilliant thing with this is, there's been a crash. Robin Freitz has crashed in the first race of the season at Beijing. That's going to be big points in the championship that he's lost. Should we pit? No, we're not going to pit while the safety, virtual safety car's out. Pretty much our, as you can see, our intermediates are lasting a lot better than anybody else's. We're on 85%. The leader is on 79. So, okay, fair enough. That's not terrible. But the Mahindras that are known for having poor tyre wear is already 10% lower than us. And we're only, what, 2 laps in? So that's quite a shock. So we're going to go medium, medium as well. Oh, no, we didn't change with Zach. Whoops. But yeah, this is quite an interesting race so far. I just don't, I know I keep saying this, but I just really don't know what to make of this, because like, it's just confusing, isn't it? We've got past Ambrosio. Well, we did get past Ambrosio temporarily there with Clement de Mello. It's not looking great for him at the moment, but I just think he's getting used to the car. If we can get a point with him today, that'd be brilliant. But at the moment, there's not really much going on. There's a bit of tussling at the back with de Mello, Zach, obviously. We're just going to call him Zach and Mitch, as I said earlier, just to remove any confusion. As you can see, we're on 74% on the tyres. The driver in the front, Rosenqvist, is already on 60%. So that's quite a shock, but I'll be back to you really whenever something exciting happens, I guess. So just as I cut away, there was another crash in Sector 2, in fact, exactly where Robin Freitz crashed. And that's Jarek Vern out of the race, and that moves de Mello up to 18th place. And it's a very weird race at the moment. We've already had 2 crashes. Is it because of the weather? I don't know. Right. It's going to get drier fairly soon. I guess I'll come back to you when it's dry then. I don't know what's going to happen, but when it's dry, I'll come back to you to see what happens. Right, so it's gone pretty much damp now. We're going to leave it another lap because I don't think it's no point coming in just yet. D'Ambrosio and Engel locked up ahead of... oh dear, there's quite a few problems with reliability with this car. we've got our first pit stop for Rosenqvist, who really struggles with tyre wear. He's pitted onto the medium tyres. It's not ready for mediums, I don't think, yet, but it's still a good marker to see where those soft tyres will be, I guess. Let's conserve the tyres a little bit now. They're all coming into the pits, I think, now, pretty much. Nico Prost's got a reliability issue. I'm sure we will soon. Are they all coming in? Yes. Everyone is pretty much coming in, I think. The leader's in. Felix da Costa for the mediums. Are they actually losing any time on those tyres? They are. He's white in that sector, so that means no improvement. So, okay. So, I'm going to leave us out for one more lap, and I think bring us in at the end of this lap. Whether that's a risk that we shouldn't have took, I don't know. But yeah, obviously Mitch is struggling a little bit with the tyre wear, which is fair enough now. And we are going to bring him in this lap for the... Oh, we've got 14 laps left, so it's best doing really 2 soft stints. So, what do we fix now? Do we fix the brakes? Yeah, we'll fix the brakes now and everything else. We'll have to do a fast pit stop because Zach is about actually 18 seconds behind, so that's perfect for us. Zach, yes. Zach can come in as well for some fresh tyres. He can also come in for the softs. What's his reliability looking like? I will just fix the suspension for him for the moment. And with any second now, we're going to be in for the soft tyres with Mitch Evans. Now, Felix da Costa's already gone past, which isn't really as much of a surprise, I guess. So, Zach is about to come in as well at the moment. So, what is going to happen? The pit stop looks all okay for Mitch. Apparently, the tyre wear, the fitting of the tyres was bad, which was obviously isn't great for us. But all the tyres have been fit well for Klaman, and we are out in 12th place, so he's gained a lot of time and places, more importantly, and we're gained a lot on the leaders. So what's happening at the front? Daniel Apps is the only person out now on those intermediate tyres, and as you can see, Munoz has got a problem in the pits, and he's actually holding his teammate up, so we're going to overtake both of those and firmly put ourselves in 7th place. I think even Zach's going to get past, and it's been a nightmare for them in the pits. Is Zach going to get past Munoz coming out to the pits? Yes, he is, and Zach puts himself in a point-playing position. So 7th place and 10th at the moment for the team. This looks really good, regardless of reliability. Obviously, Connor Daly's still in the pits, so the new team to Formula E don't look like they're going to do very well today. It is damp. It looks like it's going to stay damp now. Daniel Lapt is still in the pits. Literally 0% it came down to on the tyres. That looks like... I've never seen that symbol before. I think that just means a flat tyre. So he's stayed in for a while now, so that's very concerning to them, I guess. And he's been a long time, actually. But Mitch Evans has got past me. Sorry, we missed that. He got past Jacques Villeneuve in the Venturi. I'm up to 5th with Mitch, and we're up to 9th with Zach. So I don't quite know what to make of this. I think that, yes, Oliver Turvey has got a problem. That's why we gained on him, and actually Engel's got a problem as well. So all these cars have got problems. Let's just analyse what we're low on. So we're very low on the gearbox and the brakes. For Mitch, it's looking a bit better of a picture. But there's no immediate issues just yet that are going to put us out the race. But Oliver Turvey is losing a lot of time now. Actually, Engel's he's got past Engel, so Engel must have a bigger problem. But it's all reliability, and more reliability here. So a bit of drama doesn't go amiss in this race. Literally seconds after I pulled away, Sebastian Buemi has retired after what seems probably like an engine failure. Rosenqvist has got an issue. Felix da Costa has got a reliability issue. Cerruti's got a reliability issue. Villeneuve's not got a reliability issue. And yeah, Buemi's out. So already 3 drivers out, and there's all a little bit of drama here. So, oh dear. His parts are looking rough. But we have got, how many laps we've got left? We've got 9. So I can put him onto the soft tyres. We're just going to have to take a risk here and just fix all the parts, basically. The gearbox is looking weird for Mitch, but I'm going to leave Mitch out just for another lap, just to see what goes on. But it looks like everyone's got reliability issues, so it's not so much a case of it's just us having reliability issues. But there we go, Mitch Evans in 2nd place for the time being, after he overtakes his rival Cerruti. I'm going to have to get used to what team everyone's in, because it's a bit confusing at the moment. But his brakes, etc. have all been changed correctly. 8 laps to go, so what needs changing for Mitch? The engine, I'm going to risk not changing the engine, because the engine does take a further 18 seconds, which should be quite painful actually on our race. Come on. We are pretty much down to the back now with De Mello, and that's a shame, but, you know, what can you do about it, I guess. Mitch comes into the pits from 2nd place. I'm just going to put it on medium and medium with De Mello, but, you know, pitting and not retiring is definitely a less risky strategy than retiring and not pitting. So, there we go then. So I'm just going to have to put it on medium. Obviously, to ensure Oliver Turvey's out as well. We've got a lot of retirements then due to mechanical issues. So we've already got 4 retirements, and I'm sure we can get at least some points today. We've got back Jacques Villeneuve once again coming out of the pits. And we've got our leader, Felix da Costa, in. It's definitely the most action-packed race. The first race of the season always is. Cerruti's out, but Felix da Costa is still in the pits. As you can see, there's a lot of drivers with reliability issues, and Felix da Costa, his have taken a while actually. There's a lot of drivers in the pits, so hopefully Claman can benefit a lot. As you can see, there's a lot of drivers. There's about 6 drivers in the pit lane, so come on then. Is Claman gonna get past a lot of them? You bet he is. How many he's gonna get past? He's into the points. Get in there. And obviously Mitch is up to 5th place. Have we got any striking problems? It doesn't look like De Mello's got any problems. It's just Mitch's engine that I'm a little bit concerned about. Engel's got a bit of a reliability issue. And, yeah, it's going to be a little bit crazy, really, now, before the end of the race. So, yeah, I think I need to take a bit of a breather, to be honest. But Felix Rosenqvist has got a mechanical issue. So, that means that Felix Rosenqvist will have to come in again. Fingers crossed. We're going to try our best not to come in again. And Cerruti's out as well. We've got 5 retirements in this race. It's definitely the most bonkers first race I've ever had in Motorsport Manager. Rosenqvist and oh my god, Engel's out as well. I can't believe I'm uttering these words, but we might win this. Come on, Rosenqvist is going to be in the pits for a long time. Oh no, the engine's down on power. Unless we start losing masses of time, then we will stay out, I think. Wow, this is looking bonkers at the moment. Rosenqvist is in the pit, so De Mello is going to be up to 7th. I'm just going to see how long it's going to take if he wanted to change the engine. 18 seconds. Okay, let's go for it. Why not? Let's just go for it now. We at the end of the day, we run the risk of retirement. The leader's in anyway. Sorry, pilot. The leader is in the pits anyway, so fingers crossed we can get out ahead of Munoz. You know, that would be dreaming, but I doubt we can. But it looks like De Mello is going to do quite well. Is Munoz going to come out? I think we're actually going to get ahead of Munoz. As you can see, De Mello is in the podium position. No, he's not. Calm down. Calm down, Jonesy. Okay, we can put you on high. But you probably need to conserve your tyres. Right, here we are then. So, Connor Daly's right behind De Mello, but surely he can't get past because his tyres are quite worn out. And with 2 laps to go, after this Villeneuve comes across the line, Villeneuve could actually win this race. That would be a big shock. But we could get A, our first podium of Jaguar's Rise to the Top, and B, our biggest points haul ever in a race. So it's going to be bonkers. So let's just see what happens coming up to the end of the race. So Jacques Villeneuve has a reliability issue, but it's going to come around the final corner. We're on the final lap of the race, and Jacques Villeneuve for Venturi, who were, I think, second bottom last year, wins the first race of the season. That's a definite shock. Felix da Costa finishes 2nd, but here we are. Let's just take some time to digest this. It's the first race of the season, and we have won! No, we haven't. What word do I keep saying that? We haven't won the race, but effectively we really have. What? Apparently Rosenqvist got past because it says P5 there, but for my record, it's our first ever podium in Jaguar's Rise to the Top, and our first ever 4th place. What a start that is. We had 6 retirements. I've never seen that before in Motorsport Manager, and in general, it was just an absolutely bonkers Grand Prix of China. It was even more bonkers than it was last year. So who's got to finish it? Just Najuri and PK. Villeneuve for Venturi wins the first race. We weren't expecting that. I don't think anyone was expecting that. If you were, leave it down in the comments, alright, but I certainly wasn't expecting that result. Okay, let's just digest this a little bit. We haven't got any scrutineering issues, which is all good. And it's 3rd and 4th for our drivers. Nico Prost gets 2 extra points, and Robin Freint, Vern, Buemi, Turvey, Engel, and Cerruti all retired in some fashion. D'Ambrosio was a lap down, and well, on the podium, on the podium and in 4th. That's simply bonkers, and that's the first time I've ever seen that. And Venturi in 1st, BMW second, but Jaguar in third place. Fantastic. Third and fourth in the championship. And in the we're top of the constructors, baby. Get in there. Oh, wow. This is amazing to see. Probably the first and last time we'll ever see that this season. But we're top of the constructors, 2 points ahead of Venturi. Of course, we're probably the only team whose drivers both scored big points. The biggest team in terms of other drivers are AJ Ford, who got points as well with both drivers. But what a result. Well, as you can see, Villeneuve looks supreme. Can they go on to dominate? I doubt that. But honestly, I still don't know what the state of play is with our car and how it compares to everyone else's. We've got a lot of luck there, I'm sure. But third and fourth, a real confidence boost. A for Mitch, who had a bad end to last season, but a brilliant start for this season. And for De Mello, Zach, obviously we were kind of pondering at the start of the episode, did we sign him for the right reasons or not? I think we did sign him for the right reasons. It's fourth place for us. Could Carroll have done the same thing? You simply never know. I'm sure he could have done, but that has been a hectic but fantastic episode. There we go. Morale's up 5% because he hasn't he's tasted champagne on the podium for the first time in his Formula E career. These stats are all improving. He's actually improved his overtaking by another one, which is really good. And there we go. Expected result was 8th, and in terms of the teams, we came first. So 692,000 to add to the pot, so that's all really good. Sebastian Vettel won the first round of the Formula 1 Championship. Obviously, the drivers have all changed in that as well. But in Formula E, Mitch Evans gets a podium and De Mello gets 4th. It's quite incredible. Still the 9th best car on the grid, apparently, with Venturi being the 8th best. So, don't quite know how to make that. For some reason now, our driver rating's gone up above next step. I wonder why that is, but what a bonkers weekend that was. Just have a quick look. Yeah, thanks for the weekend. Cheers, Mitch. Well, what can you say? We really deserved that. Mitch was beaten. No, I've got 100% belief. Sorry, Mitch. Sorry, Jack. We would never sign you anyway because you're just too old. Even though you did win that race, I suppose you're never too old for a bit of drama and a bit of fun. So there we go. Jack, you were top of the Constructors' Championship in Formula E and 3rd and 4th in the Championship. So next time we go to Cape Town, it won't be a rain-effective race just like this one was. But obviously we've got a month's wait before that race. And I don't really know what else to say. I'm just absolutely flabbergasted after that race. What a fantastic race that was. But I'll see you in another 2 days, I guess, for the Cape Town GP. What did you think about that, guys? Make sure to leave a comment. And on what our signing of Zach, obviously. And yeah, what did you think about that episode? Make sure to leave a like. I think that deserves a like. Top of the championship and 3rd and 4th in the race. What a fantastic race that was. But hopefully this season can go well, because obviously our improvability on the car is good. To what extent that means, I don't really know. But yeah. This season hopefully shouldn't go like that and then come crushing down and then Milan go up and then go down, get down. Hopefully it should kind of go on a par, like Beijing, maybe go down a little bit in Cape Town, but, you know, smaller ups and downs, I guess, in the season. But that has been a long video, I think, for the first episode of a new season. De Mello, our new driver, finishes in 4th in the race. Our best result, regardless of whatever Mitch did. Obviously, Mitch got a 3rd place. So brilliant to see in the first race of the second season we get a podium with Mitch Evans and a 4th place with Zachary Claman De Mello. I'm sure he'd be proud, Zachary, as well as Mitch, of course. But yeah, a dramatic start to the championship, and really, it's just going to be bonkers, I think, from here on until the next few episodes. So if you did enjoy that, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the TI channel for even more of this Motorsport Manager series. But apart from that, I've been TIJ, and I'll see you for the next episode in a few days. Goodbye.